The 15th of November 1824 was the day before the Hume and Hovell Expedition reached the banks of the Murray River, and their spirits were high. The day before, on the 14th, Hume and Hovell had climbed to the top of Tabletop and seen the smoke from the campfires of the Wiradjuri people, and that gave them fresh hopes that the land they were nearing provided food and water. And I love how Hovell described the lift in spirits in the men. He wrote in his journal on the 15th of November, "There is also an evident change in the countenance of our men since we have come into this fine country. When among the mountains we had so frequently to turn back and take another road, or an unfavourable looking mountain to ascend or descend, that I have seen them with faces similar to those I have seen of sailors, when on a seashore, in a gale of wind, feeling great doubts whether it is possible the ship can get off or not, but as soon as it is known that the ship is out of danger, a change is perceived immediately in the countenance of every person on board. So is the case here. Although there has been no danger at all, yet there is an anxious desire by everyone to accomplish that which they have undertaken. Nothing can be of greater proof, when men's minds are contented, than their amusing themselves by singing all together, not one song, but each man a different song and tune, and evidently not paying the least attention or even a thought on his neighbour's song. This was the case with our men today, and it was frequently the case that we had to speak twice or thrice before they could be roused from their reverie." So Hume and Hovell arrived at the banks of the Murray River, the Milawa, as it's known to the Wiradjuri people, on the 16th of November 1824, and they each carved their name in a tree. Hovell's tree is still standing 200 years later. That's it there behind me, and it's the main feature in Hovell Tree Park in Albury. And on the 16th of November 2024, 200 years to the day, I arrived at the banks of the Murray River too, and was able to spend some quiet time with the river and the tree to connect with my ancestor through this space. So I've made it to the banks of the Murray, 200 years to the day after my ancestor. This is the tree that Hovell inscribed, but where he inscribed, the bark has grown over, so it's no longer visible. This is an old tree now. Well, I got to have my quiet moment with the river, and now I feel that connection that I was looking for. I even got a special visit from a magpie lark. Lots of ducks around, lots of birds in the trees. Hello again. So this is your spot for collecting stuff for your nest. The other name for this bird is a mud lark because they build a mud nest. Now, I've just noticed it, picking up all this stuff with mud on it. So this would be collecting it to build a nest. To commemorate the bicentenary, the Albury City Council did some upgrades to the landscaping around the Hovell Tree recently, and they held a little celebration and reopened the garden. After a lovely welcome to country, Mayor Kevin Mack gave a short speech and then asked me to do an impromptu short speech as well as cut the ribbon with him, which was a real honour.
I now declare the Hovell Tree development reopened. Thank you, everyone. Yes!
And then we had some photos taken and he was a good sport and hugged the tree with me. Then I was so pleased to meet a couple of descendants who had come down for the celebration. The man on my left, which would be your right, is Ross. He's a descendant of Henry Angel. And the man on my right, your left, is Bruce. He's a descendant of one of Hamilton Hume's brothers. So that was really special. The entire day was really special. And this is another highlight of my trip.